My name is Jimmy, his name is Jake, and this is the Weekly Dumb. Jake.
Good to have you back, Jim.
Thank you.
We're gone for a while. Down Under, how are you? How's your Down Under?
Bad. More on that later.
Yeah, more on that later.
First, we start with the sports.
Winter meetings happened while you were gone. Baseball's hot in the streets. And you need to catch up because they don't have the news in Australia.
Outlawed.
Kyle Tucker traded to the Cubs.
Interesting. I hope it means Bellinger goes to the Yankees.
Garrett Crochet traded to the Red Sox.
Makes sense. Kind of like Sale going to the Red Sox. It's just like, oh, yeah, that's what those teams do.
Nathan Eovaldi to Texas.
I wanted him somewhere else, but I like Nathan Eovaldi.
Clay Holmes to start for the Mets.
Clay Holmes is interesting because he's really good at throwing pitches, but no team knows what to do with him. They're like, we're going to make you a closer. No, we're going to make you a starter. It's like, very good pitches, no idea how to utilize them.
Tyler O'Neill to Baltimore. Sevy signs the biggest contract in A's history, and your guy Jeffrey Springs trade to the A's.
I love Jeffrey Springs. He's good. Severino to the A's was a real think buster for me. So if anyone doesn't know what's going on here, I'm going to go real quick through this. This is crazy. A's go to the owners and they say, we need revenue sharing. They're like, well, you're in the market score for Oakland's high. You don't need it. And they're like, yeah, but nobody comes to our stadium because our stadium sucks. They say, go get a new stadium. And they say, okay, we'll try to get a new stadium. And then they botch that intentionally and say, we can't get a new stadium. Like, all right, we'll give you revenue sharing until 2025. By then you need a stadium. They say, and they're like, well, why would if we sign a new stadium in Oakland, the market score remains too high for us to get other owners' money. So we're going to fuck that up intentionally and go to Vegas where the market score is so low, we're always guaranteed to get revenue share. And then the owners are like, hey, it feels like you kind of pulled a fast one on us here. The rich owners are like, you better spend some money. Or the players union is saying, you better spend some money. You're suspect. So they got all these magnifying glasses on them. And they're like, shit, now we got to spend money to appease not a fan base. So they signed Sevy. Just so confusing. Like, who's excited about this? No one. They don't have fans.
Sevy.
He's not excited.
He likes money.
There's no one that is rooting for the A's.
Then let's end there and not do Matt Boyd to the Cubs.
All right.
It's almost a breakdown. Historic. A
Bay Area school was screwed by a referee error in the football title game. This is tragic. Adrian Wilcox High School from Santa Clara lost the Northern California Division IIA regional playoff game on Saturday night, 28-27 against 12 Bridges High School in Lincoln. I had to pause right there and say 12 Bridges High School. That's a badass school name. Are there 12 bridges in the town? What's going on? I Googled it. Nothing really came up. I went to Google Maps, Zach. I'm searching Google Maps. There's no bridges in town. There's no water in town. Where are all these bridges? I found an essay by Gary Day. Where are the 12 bridges? And this is crazy. The town
is on the Spring Valley Ranch of the late 19th and 20th centuries. Historian Richard Miller in his biography called Fortune Built by Dunn on Joel Parker tells us there were 25 miles of roads on that ranch. 12 granite bridges crossed the creeks on the main road from Rockland to the main headquarters, from there through the vineyard and around the back of the ranch. But why were there 12 bridges, Zach? Well, Joel Parker Whitney took over the ranch from his dad. They used it to produce high-quality wool from a special crossbreed of Saxony and Australian merino sheep. Then, Joel Parker got rich, investing in Colorado mining companies. He travels to Paris to say, invest in mining with me. He meets the wonderful Lucy Chadwick in England. They father another son. They moved back to settle down on the ranch, and they had an affinity for English-style shit. Said, let's turn this ranch into our own little England. They flattened 5 acres overlooking the ranch's headquarters. They started construction on Oaks Mansion. They built 4,200 acres of English-style fox and rabbit huts, and then spent $6,826 building stone bridges all over their land. Bridges over what? Nothing really. Creeks. Nowhere. It was kind of like the driveway to their estate. Just all these bridges. 9 granite bridges still visible in the Rockland landscape. There's some at the golf course. There's this one I sent you a picture of, Zach. It's beautiful. People take wedding photos there at the Clover Valley Park. And I want it to be known that there's no evidence that Chinese laborers constructed the bridges. Although it is possible since many Chinese probably escaped to the ranch as they were expelled from South Placer County Population Center during the Chinese purges of September 1877.
But back to the breakdown. Adrian Wilcox High School has the ball. They're driving down the field. There's 7 seconds left on the clock. Incomplete pass. The referee spot it improperly. They're 1 yard short. He's screaming at him, spot it, respot it. They get together. They say, you know what? We will respot it. But they never reset the play clock during the respot. They go to kick it, and the other umpire says, delay of game. You guys delayed the game with your improper spot. Doesn't matter. They ice the kicker. They move him back 5 yards. He misses the kick by like 3 yards. They lose. Even 12 Bridges coach Chris Bean was empathetic. He said, I understand. I would feel the same way if I was them for sure.
Zach laughed at Chris Bean. And now there's 8 bridges left?
9 visible.
And they might have been made by Chinese laborers, but we don't know.
Can't tell.
Hello, DraftKings.
Today's episode is brought to you by DraftKings. Grab your favorite team's jersey and some snacks and head to the couch for another Sunday of action-packed football. And get even closer to the action each Sunday with our partners at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, all new customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you use code WEEKLY. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code WEEKLY. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's promo code WEEKLY. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Back to the show.
Jim, in more sports while you're gone, Bill Belichick. He's taken the University of North Carolina Tar Heels head gig, and he's got a plan. He brought in a 400-page book. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we need to pay players. This is who I need on my staff. If we're going to do this at North Carolina, I'm Bill Belichick. I want to do this right. Oh, yeah, and you have to hire my son who's going to take over in a couple years.
That's crazy to me. He said the 400-page Bible's not true. He said, come on. I wouldn't do that. If you're the son, that stinks.
It's a little bit.
Well, I was going to be like, dude, there's no way Belichick can relate to like Gen Z players and stuff, but he's dating a Gen Z player. Yeah. So like maybe he's like
some jokes at that.
Maybe he's big time relatable.
Jim, in the not sports.
Suspects get stuck in a chimney while trying to flee the police. And the video makes this just such a beautiful thing. We have the full body cam footage. They're on the roof. The cops are like, get down from that roof. And Tanisha jumps. She clears the fence, lands on a car. Pretty beautiful escape move. Yeah. He shimmies down the chimney. The cops don't find him for a little bit. Then the cops are walking around the neighborhood, and a guy walking his dog comes up and says this.
Walking my dog. Yeah, he went down the chimney.
Just cracks me up. You know, he's in the chimney screaming. They're like, then the cops walk up to the chimney, and the first thing they say to the guy is just awesome. Yeah. Walk up, Zach, and they go, look at him and go, you idiot.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. Get up.
They're like, raise your hands, raise your hands. And he's like,
I'm stuck.
Show us your hand right now. Show us your hands.
Roundup.
Roundup. Canadian national women's volleyball player jailed for international pot smuggling. Said she got paid $300 to smuggle it across the border. It was worth like $1 million. Now she's going to jail for a while. Smugglers. Bad.
Lies. In hockey news, fight breaks out in the middle of the charity teddy bear toss. We've reviewed this a couple times on the Weekly Dumb. Ouch.
A drone situation has reached a peak of sorts in the Northeast. People have been talking about these drones for a long time. One crashed. It was a fiery crash. And now they're saying, don't look at us, don't look at us, call the FBI. And they're like sweeping under the rug, saying they're nuclear testing. I don't know. People are up in arms in my neck of the woods about these drones.
This man finally got a penis implant, but he was not prepared for his wife's reaction.
No more info on that one because it's behind a paywall. But if anyone subscribes to Slate, please read it and update us on if she was happy or not happy about it. A New Zealand man playing his first ever competitive Scrabble game in Spanish, a language he doesn't speak, has won the board game Spanish language world title. Nigel Richards. He just can memorize words like none other. He memorized every Spanish Scrabble word, doesn't know what they mean, just knows their words, and won. Not cool, Nigel.
And for any of you that wonder what Zach looks like, just like Nigel Richards.
Ban this man from future. He better not go to France and win that one. That's bullshit. I'm out with my Nigel.
That was the Weekly Dumb.
I just don't know if I should be offended or flattered.
He's terrible looking.
Okay.
He looks like
All right, thanks.
a Unabomber.
Yeah.
Like a Waco, Texas.
Not really my vibe.
I mean, he's mostly your vibe.
Looks like I see a beard from here. Is that correct?
Long beard, yeah.
Big beard.